Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another deck profile. Today we're going over my version of Bulma Apes. Now I know this deck did do pretty well at a recent Card Guys tournament, and I've been working on this for a little bit now. And I gotta shout out Ryan Severin because he gave me the initial idea to start running with the deck, but it makes perfect sense. Big Saiyan monkeys, Bulma makes them blockers, and you have a lot of added synergy with all the different things we'll talk about in that deck. Before we get into it, guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. Hit that bell so you don't miss a video. Make sure you guys check out the description below, the Daily Mac Tournament of Power. We want to see you guys there. It's going to be the biggest tournament of the year, and we want to see you there. It's going to be a big move for DBS. And finally, guys, final plug. New Crossroad TCG merchandise store is open. Make sure to check that out down below. Man, this is such a cool move. We have some sick items. We got shirts, bags, hoodies, socks, mouse pads, phone cases. So much cool stuff, guys. If you want to support the channel, make sure to check it out down below, and you yourself can be a certified Dragon Baller. Alright guys, now that we got all that out of the way, let's get into the deck profile. Bulma, you might not see her all the time. She is pretty rogue. Some people do play her with the set 8 engine that she's meant to be played with, which is like Birthday Party, Goku Path to Godhood. You got your Vegetas, Gotens, Trunkses, Videls, Gohans, all that good stuff. But I think that engine's a little bit weak. It takes a little bit too much setup. I got this idea from my friend Ryan, like I said, and I ran with it. I think it's really, really cool. So permanent, all red and yellow Saiyans and everything's gain blocker. That's on the unawakened and awakened side. And activate main on the unawakened side, you draw 1 per turn. Awaken, untap 2 at 4 life. On the back side, you draw 2 every turn. So you get a ton of draw power. You see your engine pretty consistently. And that turn 1 +1 we see all the time. It's super strong, super powerful. Helps out a lot, especially because you are a smaller leader, and this deck helps you play that value defense to defend your smaller leader, which is another really great thing about it. First thing off the bat, we got 3 Sun Goten rushing in. It's a revenge card. It's a 1-drop red Saiyan / Earthling, and it's a blocker with Bulma. Revenge blocker, some decks just can't beat it, especially decks like Gogeta 7, like your random Shenjita matchups, or other decks that are abusing Gogeta 7, like the new multicolored Piccolo leader coming out. They can't beat a Gogeta 7. They can't beat a revenge blocker, sorry, very easily. You're going to make them probably waste an entire turn just to remove this card. And if you're doing that, you're not getting Gogeta 7, and you're doing exactly what your deck wants to do, because you're a leader that draws a ton. Like, you have March of the Great Apes that draws 2. You have your leader on the backside that draws 2. You do not want to get Gogeta 7. So if you're stalling the Gogeta 7 and preventing them from playing it on you, you're doing the right thing. Likewise, like if you get a Fu the Dark Banisher dropped on you, which is a very popular card this format, you block with this. Sure, you warp 1 to activate blocker in the face of Fu, but if you get rid of the Fu, you're not warping any more cards for the rest of that turn. So that's a really good trade-off. Like, some decks, they can't beat this card. Removal is not too popular right now, so this is a card, in my opinion, that you want to play, and it's a combo piece for your Arrival, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. To Denial of Hope, you're a red leader. You're pretty weak too, so sometimes you just need to have that defensive energy open. And it's Denial of Hope. It's so broken in certain scenarios, especially scenarios that can sometimes hurt your deck, like Piccolo Assimilated Ability. If you can't get the barrier online, like, you just need it for certain situations. Decent against Baby, which in my opinion is the best deck of the format. You hit their Arrival, you make their turns really, really awkward. I think it's pretty good. Support attacks on Goten. We're not running the Videl, unfortunately. That allows you to put this card back in your hand. If I didn't think the Revenge Blocker was so important, I could probably see that card going in place of Goten rushing in. But again, I think the Revenge Blocker is pretty important. But we do run this super combo because it is a Saiyan. It is searchable at Planet Vegeta. Almost your entire deck is searchable at Planet Vegeta, which is why we're playing it at 4. And there's obviously another reason we're playing it at 4 I'll talk about in a little bit. But really good synergy there. Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Goku. This is a 1 energy 10k combo that says when you combo this card or play it, you draw 1. And then we have our 5-drop King Vegeta, which reduces the cost of that card by 1. So when your deck does what it's supposed to do, which it does pretty consistently, it's super combo 5 through 8. It's just so busted, especially when you get things online. This deck, when it goes off, it takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of setup. We play some cards to get there, but when this deck does what it needs to do, it's pretty broken. Like, it's pretty bonkers. Then we have Topo Righteous Aid. Again, this is one of the stall cards I think you need to have at 4 in this particular format. If the best deck, in my opinion, wasn't Yellow Starter Baby, I don't think Topo would be a necessary 4 of. I think 3 would be pretty much fine, but I do think Yellow Starter Baby is the best deck in the format. It's super aggressive, drops a stupid combo on you where they get like 3 triple strikes and like another double strike on the same turn, plus like their leader swinging 3 times, other random 15k dinks swinging more times as well. So I think for that reason, I think Topo's a necessary 4 of. and your leader is weaker. Like I said, this deck allows you to play that value defense with your leader being weaker, but Topo just helps even more. I don't think there's any reason not to run 4. King Vegeta, Royal Bloodline. This is the only multicolor card in this deck, and I don't think you need any other multicolors. I usually try to go turn 1 yellow to play Planet Vegeta, or like I'll go turn 1 red to play Goten if it's appropriate, or I'll go turn 1 yellow into Trunks the Cunning just to draw the card. But realistically, I don't think you need a multicolor charge at all. You can even arrival this guy out turn 1 if it's possible, if it's necessary. But yeah, I don't think you need it. We don't really play all those counterplays in the deck. We have Denial of Hope, which helps out. We can side into more multicolors. You could potentially play more multicolors if you really wanted to play like Chomp the Trickster, but I don't think it's super necessary because we have the super strong negates, because we have Denial of Hope. I don't really think that you need it. Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku, the last straw. This card is one of our alternate finishers in the deck. We're playing Apes. We're playing really big beat sticks that are going to wear our opponent down on resources. We're blocking with 20k battle cards that may require your opponent to combo into them to deal damage or to kill those battle cards. So you're going to whittle the opponent down. You should have a pretty large hand size, especially because your leader says draw 2 every single turn. A well-timed SS3 Son Goku last straw is going to help you seal the deal, win the game. If you dropped a March that turn and you're like able to awaken that turn, or if you're on 5 energy, the March again should burn your opponent's negates, and then you clean up with the SS3 Son Goku last straw. This card's been performing incredibly well. The only thing is there are some decks in the format that do have battle interruption, which you do need to be very wary of. For that reason, I'm kind of considering side decking or main decking Furthering Instruction Champa, probably as like a 2 of in the sideboard, just for those matchups where you can't really rely on SS3 Son Goku the last straw. The really nice thing about last straw is like it gets a card out of your life, so you do draw an additional card. So that's really good. But again, there aren't always going to be situations where this card is viable. You know, against Blue Green, they have the Goku Gohan card that puts in your energy. Against Red Yellow, they have Beerus No Holds Barred, and other colors have other ways to deal with it as well. Just keep that in mind. Trunks the Cunning, it's a 1-drop, it's a cantrip, it's a yellow sand, so it gains blocker. I like it for those reasons. And we're not at all affected by the cunning ability, which if you don't know what the cunning ability is, it says you cannot use the skill of a battle card or extra card to switch energy to active mode unless you choose 5 cards from your drop and send them to the warp. So for those reasons, I like this card because it stops a lot of decks in the format. Particularly, it stops things like offensive Senzu Bean decks like Blue Yellow Broly or the random Android 21 matchups. Or this could also be the Yellow Borgos. This could be the 1-drop Whis Godly Destruction if you really wanted to hate on Golden Frieza, which is pretty popular right now, but that would not be a blocker because it's not a Saiyan or an Earthling. So keep that in mind. That's not super important. I mean, Goten's a way better blocker and your bigger monkeys are way better blockers, but it's just a little bit of synergy there. It is searchable at Planet Vegeta. So pros and cons here, just giving you guys a little bit of a sub option. For Planet Vegeta, like I said, it searches almost everything in the deck besides like Denial of Hope, besides your Topos, and besides your other extra cards. But this card is broken because it searches almost all of your deck, and it says at the end of your turn. A lot of people forget this because this hasn't been relevant in a while, but this also says at the end of your turn, restand all of your monkeys, restand all of your great apes, guys. So when you swing with them, they're all, you know, ginormous with barrier, hopefully, if you're doing the right thing with your deck. And then at the end of the turn, you restand them, and your opponent just cannot get through the walls that you're setting up. Flying Nimbus at 2, it just complements the Topo. I do like Topo better because it is a 5k combo for Arrival, but Nimbus is great as well. Again, because I think Baby is the best deck in the format, I think you want to have it. I'm actually very, I guess, unhappy with After Images format. I don't think it's very good. I don't think there's a lot of matchups where it's super relevant, so I just don't play it anymore really in my red decks. Like I posted a few red decks here and there on Discord and on the channel. I just don't include After Image. I don't think it's all that great. Is that all you got though? A really good opportunity, a really good option rather, to potentially include in the deck, probably in the sideboard, but it has a little bit of a different application than Nimbus. So I'd probably side one and play the other at the end of the day. 4 Great Ape Prince Vegeta and 4 Bardock Will of Iron. These are the monkeys I'm choosing to play. This is pretty much for like a budget reason. Like you could play Great Ape Bardock Raiders Warcry, but there's a few reasons I play Bardock Will of Iron. 1, it's a great budget alternative. 2, when you do have your Absolute Defense Great Ape King Vegeta on board, you reduce the cost of Raiders Warcry by 1, but it's still a 1 energy 10k combo, which can kind of clunk. But if you were to play Raiders Warcry off of March, even though your leader's not yellow, you can't combo Raiders Warcry into play. But when you do play it off March, you still get additional draw and the double strike, and it becomes a blocker because of Bulma. So there are still really good reasons to play it. It's honestly probably the better pick than Will of Iron But for the one reason of being a 10k combo for 1 energy, and because of budget, I chose to go with Will of Iron, but this could easily be swapped out. Like I said, 3 March. I think 3 is really all you need, because the typical curve of the deck is you want to Arrival King Vegeta on either 1 or 2, depending on when it's, you know, safe to do so. Preferably, you're going to bring Vegeta in on your turn 2 defensively, and then you're going to go turn 3, evolve into your absolute defense Great Ape King Vegeta, which we'll read in a second. And then turn 4, you want to go March and then Awaken. So when you do March, you tap 4, you play the monkeys, and then when you Awaken, you have 2 energy open for Denial or Topo or Nimbus, whatever you need. And then ideally, like I said, on turn 3, you're dropping absolute defense Great Ape King Vegeta, evolve over King Vegeta for 3, which the Arrival is King Vegeta. All yellow sands in your battle area gain barrier, and reduce the combo cost of all sand cards in your hand by 1. That's really the linchpin of the deck. It's what makes the deck work, guys. This deck is super fun. It's a really fun casual deck to play at locals. I think it is a bit on the stronger side. There are some matchups that are tough. Like I said, if you don't see the defensive pieces, it can be a little bit tough to beat Baby, but it's a really fun deck, guys. Hope you try it out. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you for watching. Make sure to grab your Crossbow TCG merch down below, and I'll see you next time.